Hello and welcome to the JR's Gaming Podcast, where we talk about the rise of Nintendo and what this great gaming franchise has in store for us in the future of gaming, and of course, the country from which it was born, Japan. I'm your host, Judah Terry, and I'm joined as always by the king of ranting, my good friend and co-host, Roan Fern. Roan Fern,
Hey.
it's great to we're now back on track with the podcast. It's just you and me. We're back in the studio. I have in front of me a bottle of water.
Yeah, me.
It's just funny because we discussed in the last episode, we had a massive fiery debate over water.
Well, yeah, I
didn't we?
mean, I think you're evidence that some people can survive without
Yeah.
water. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
I've got
guess,
evidence.
I mean, yeah.
You both kind of shaken me up to the fact that I might die in 20 years. So I've now got Highland Spring,
Highland
still
Spring.
spring water. Yeah, and
I can't, to be honest. Some people apparently can taste the difference between spring water and tap water. I can't taste the difference.
exactly my
So
point.
I just keep refilling the same plastic bottle with water.
You might as well, man, because I've just drank and I've just taken a swig of this Highland Spring, and it tastes just like tap water. There's nothing. There's nothing between. There's no difference. Like, it's a scam. It's a scam. Don't buy
Yeah,
bottled
man.
water. But also beside me, I also have a good Coca-Cola original taste. You know,
Mm.
so I've got that caffeine, that good stuff to keep me going. Because Rowan, I have some news for you. Of course, I think we kind of discussed this like last week, but I'm an actor, and I'm actually acting
Yeah.
in a short film that's going to be releasing later on this year, probably around winter time. But the shoots have officially started. I started acting at about 8 o'clock, and we finished at 4 in the morning.
Ooh.
4 in the morning. So and that
I
was
saw that on your Instagram story. You posted like a picture of like you going home
Mm.
and the sun was just coming up already.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
It
in the
felt
summer, only
Mm.
like there's only like only about 1 hour of like complete darkness, and then it starts to get light again. But
Yeah, it's so strange.
but anyway, what were you gonna say?
So basically we started shooting. The whole film is shot at night, right? So we need to shoot at night, and the
Oh, the whole
shoots.
film shot at night. That's
Yeah,
painful.
it is painful, man. But of course, with a film, you kind of shoot it. You kind of like you set it out between dates, so you like spread it out over a bunch of dates, right? So what we did is we were like, okay, we're going to do this night. We're going to record these scenes. Next night, we're going to record these scenes. We should finish about 3 or 2 in the morning, which is really bad because considering it's in Birmingham and I don't live anywhere near Birmingham, so I've got an hour's drive. Well, I don't drive, but thankfully, but I get driven to Birmingham and back in the same night. So you've got to go to Birmingham, and then we've got to go all the way back after the shoot. So that's an hour more, really, onto the shoot. But that being said, it's I'm an actor, and that's what I've kind of signed up for. And that's what I do. But basically, we went way over time because there were some complications with setting up. There some problems with the gimbal, and some of the camera crew were having problems with some of the cameras. So we had to stop. We ended up finishing at 4, and man, it was so strange being in the city. We had like the entire area was like quiet because it was kind of like not there for the movie, so we all had that area to ourselves. But it's just really strange. Like, it almost felt like the night didn't exist because I just been up all night, and my body was like, there was this point where around probably 2 o'clock, my body was like, okay, go to bed. But then I was just like, no. I just carried on drinking coffee and powering through the night with my acting, and my body kind of got used to it. It was like, okay, he's not going to sleep, so let's wake up fully again. And so it was really, my body was like not expecting this. So I was like,
yeah, I think I've
dying.
only had one night in my life where I didn't get any sleep, and it was on and funnily enough, it was on the night of an exam, so it was very but I still somehow I didn't feel the effects till later in the afternoon. So I got up in the morning, had no sleep. I'd just been lying there still the whole night, just with like not being able to sleep. That was a terrible night. But I got up. And still, did the exam as if I'd got sleep. And then when it hit about 1 or 2 o'clock, I just collapsed onto my bed.
Oh no, man! That was the day yesterday. Yesterday, I was like, bloody hell, because I woke up and that was the night I got no sleep. So I got in right back to let's just say the shoots happened. We unfortunately didn't get everything we needed to do done. So we're like, okay, we're gonna have to do it tomorrow night as well. So I have to. Oh, I've got to do it back to back.
Yeah.
So my director was like, okay, I'll drive you home now. So guess what time I went to bed? Guess what time?
5, 6?
6, yeah, 6.
Ooh.
So I went to bed when it was morning.
You went to bed at 6, but did you fall asleep at the 6?
No, that's the thing. I fell asleep at around probably 6:45, and basically, that's basically what happened. So I came in, I sent a message to my friend saying, I'm still awake. You're probably asleep, but I just got back from the shoot and I don't know what's going on. The birds are singing and I've been awake all night. And so what I did, I couldn't sleep. It was really hot. It was a really hot
Oh
day.
yeah, no, it
And it
was.
was a really hot night. It was, wasn't it? There was a thunderstorm as well that morning.
Mm.
But basically, yeah, I got 2 hours sleep. Just two. I couldn't get to sleep, so I kind of drifted off at 7. Woke up at around 9. So I'm on 2 hours sleep, and I felt absolutely crap. Like, I just felt so bad. So I was like, well, what do? You're an actor, so you need to power through it for tonight's shoot. I'm doing it again tonight. So I just powered up on coffee all over again, and then the shoot was cancelled.
You just keep making cups of coffee.
Yeah, basically, no, I had a pint. I had a pint of coffee, 2 pints. I had a whole pint. Like, imagine a pint of beer, but a pint of coffee. That's what I did. Very unhealthy. Don't try that at home.
I like iced coffee really.
Oh yeah, I love a good iced coffee.
Coffee's really good, but like obviously it's the warm coffees are good as well because
yeah.
I mean I've got like I've already had a Monster Zero this morning.
Oh nice, so you're energized for the episode. I'm energized as well because I've got Coca-Cola, but I've had to take a break from coffee because the shoot was cancelled, and yesterday depression was just literally on me. I actually felt so depressed, and I mean, mental health can get affected. Honestly, if you get no sleep, your mental health can feel really bad. So yesterday I was just like, oh, this is so shit. I was just like, I'm feeling so rubbish. I just felt so, I think I did a game. I was like, Roan, let's just do gaming because I was like, let's do a gaming session with you, and you were like, you could tell that I was dead. I was running on 2 hours sleep and coffee, and I was depressed as hell, and I wasn't gonna make it at all. So last night I fell asleep at around like midnight, and I was great. I had a good sleep, I had a nice sleep, and now I feel good. Hopefully,
I had a sleep. Last night I fell asleep. I think about 1:45. Which is not the best, but it's not the worst.
I mean, it's just, sometimes I fall asleep at 3, but
yeah. I mean, it's just I don't know. Sleep. I mean, to be honest, I've sometimes I have a really good night's sleep, but in the morning it still feels like I've not had any.
Yeah, I get that sometimes because you just wake up and you're like, still feel tired.
Yeah, no, it's so weird. It's like, well, what's my body doing the past 8 hours? It's meant to be. It's like the charger that recharges your body. Just got a little loose and it just stopped charging.
It's just leaks.
You know those times when like the charger's in your phone's not in all the way and it sort of like wiggles out. That's what happened to me last night.
Yeah,
and I just
won't charge properly.
I woke up and I was on 10% still.
Oh no! Basically, I was on 1% last night. I was like,
well, you're on the verge of like just going out of charge, then dead. Yeah,
I was. Yeah, death. Honestly, I felt horrible. But now I'm actually charged. I feel like
that goes back to like the thing. I saw this thing on TikTok that said like images with deep meanings, and one of them was like this guy.
Yeah,
and he was sitting on his bed and he had like a plug socket on his back, and then there was like he had a plug on his back and a plug socket in his bed, meaning that like every time you go to bed, like you sort of recharge, which is
that's a fair point though, isn't it?
I mean, like that's like a.
Only if you're me though, I don't recharge. I just again you said
you need a new charger. You do. You need to go to the Apple store and buy a new charger.
I do. I'll probably pop there next week and get myself a new one because mine's just when it all goes in manky and green at the end and all just goes weird. Yeah. That's my charger right now, and it's like it's oozing electricity.
This is a very good analogy.
It is, and I'm very well put together, I think. Yeah, charging. We all charge, guys. But anyway, that aside, guys, that is a big sorry from me. That is why there's been a delay in the episodes because you're hearing this on Sunday. This should have gone out on yesterday, on Saturday, but of course that was impossible because I was acting and I was dead. I said to Ryan, I cannot act. Even my brain's still dead now. I cannot record.
Yeah.
Because I can't do the podcast now. It's just so I'm sorry guys for the delay. Of course we're not stopped or anything. We're just a bit of a delayed episodes this week. And of course the Nintendo Music Wars, I deeply apologise. That has been a week's delay, but that'll be coming out next week, guys. We've already recorded it. I just need to get it all set up and edited, and that should be out next week. So very sorry, a big sorry guys from me. For the delay, but I can't be helped, I guess, when you're a busy guy. But the podcast is always on. It's just delayed.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm now from this Friday. I'm no longer a student. I'm never going to go to school again. And I've been, to be honest, I've been getting a bit sad about it. You know about this?
Yeah, like a bit of a nostalgic feeling. It's like it's gone.
It's more of my friends and stuff rather than lesson, because lessons, you know, like
you won't miss the maths.
no, never. I mean,
Gregory has 6 tiles.
I truly, don't get me started. I truly hope that I've passed maths so that I never have to do it again. If I've not, I'll retake it, whatever. But I mean, it's always best if you pass it, because then I can just, you know, throw all my maths books in the bin.
Burn it on fire.
Burn them.
Man,
I
did the classic fake. Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm very happy for you. I was actually going to go to Rowan's graduation, but that was again. I was actually shooting that night.
Yeah.
I was shooting that night, so
it was terrible though, because it was out, like, sort of outsold. It was held outside, and the whole time, yeah, it was held outside. And the weather up to that point had been, you know, sort of overcast. And the one day that I go for the graduation, we're sat there in school uniform, jumpers, in the blazing sun. And the entire, we were sat at an angle. All the year 11s were sat at an angle.
Yeah.
Where the entire left side of our face was burning hot, because that's where the sun was.
So half you just got half red face.
Oh
no,
that's
a bit of a silly day. That made no sense, because like the week had been fairly moderate. It was like, you know, it was quite.
And then to rub salt in the wound, the day after, the day after the boiling hot day for the summer celebration, it was just a thunderstorm. So I was like, why couldn't that have happened when I was there? I'd rather be sat there in the rain than sat there in the sun.
I love a good thunderstorm, but apart from when you're actually, but that's quite annoying, man. I
had to literally turn my head the opposite way. It looked like I wasn't paying attention, but it's just because I didn't want my head to set fire.
the entire graduation footage. Just review the footage, you know, and everyone just sees Rowan be like, "Nope, I'm not part of this. I'm trying to avoid my head just blowing up in the extreme heat of the UK." The funny thing was that the day that you were doing your graduation was the only day that week that was the hottest.
Yeah, the only day. Literally the only day. It's like
any other day.
It's like the weather was just like, oh, I see, Rowan, that you've got something where you're going to be outside. I'm just gonna. There you go. Now it's hot on that day.
Really hot, not just hot, like baking, you know. And I felt for you.
But like, it's like the weather that day was just like, it was like just, let's have a bit of fun here. Let's troll Rowan rants.
His last day. Let's just make it hell for him. And I guess apart from the weather, though, man, how was it in like the serious side? Was it good? Was it nice? Was it emotional?
The event was it was quite.
Was it crying?
A little bit sad. I didn't cry.
Did anyone else cry?
A few people there. None of the students cried. But like, I've still got results day to you know, return to the school. So
of course.
That's like results day, 24th of August. 24th of next month.
That's the real emotion.
I'm excited and nervous. Excited because I think I've done well, but nervous because like that moment, I'm sure when you open the thing and get your results. I mean, you've been through that. You can probably attest to that. That
it's a weird feeling, man. Like driving there, it's just like, I feel excited, but I feel absolutely scared, dead. Like, I'm just terrified. But then again,
I'm not going to open it in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the results and open them in the car, because I don't want all the people around me going, "What did you get? What did you get?"
Oh yeah, that's fair enough though. I mean, I did the same thing. I took my results and I was like, "Bye, folks. I'll text you if I'll either be crying or I'll be happy." Went in the I opened up my leaflets, and I got a flipping 9 or 8. I've forgotten now. It was an 8 in English. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I got and
I feel like English language is definitely my best subject. I mean, I got in the mock exams, I got a 9 and a 7.
7 in science for me as well. I did well in all the other subjects, but it was good. Apart from maths, I'm rubbish at maths, honestly.
Yeah. I sort of taught myself science. Because like by revising and stuff, because I like through all of year 10 and all of year 11, I did not have a Scoobies about science, but I just sort of taught. It's like I sort of revised science, and I think I've done all right, even though I had no clue what I was doing before.
So you kind of self-taught yourself. I mean, that's what revision does.
Yeah.
That's what revision does, right? Like, you just kind of like, you're like, okay, here's the subject. If I want to pass, I need to like do my own sort of learning, because the schools are rubbish at anyway giving you information. They're just like, oh, here's an egg. Learn about it yourself. That's what they do, really. The teachers...
I didn't understand mainly the units in science, because they were like, oh, this thing right here, that's 20,000 newtons, that's 20,000 joules.
Exactly.
It's just like, what does that mean?
I mean, they tell you what a cell is, right? But it's kind of your job to find out what's inside the cell.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah, exactly. So like, it's kind of like, I would say like 50 or 60% of the work we do in school, or in college even more so, is your input. It's your study. Yeah. So it's very important, I guess. But yeah, I'm happy the exams went well. But like, I guess we'll be finding out if you.
But obviously, like I feel like for like the sake of like my children in the future, I hope that a new system is brought in place because GCSEs are severely outdated.
Just don't take them to school.
Yeah,
like Skype.
but
Learn at
GCSEs,
home.
like they're really outdated. Like, in the maths, obviously, you just got to learn these silly questions.
Yeah.
I thought like maybe this year they've sort of like transitioned a bit. No, it was still, oh, if this square has 30 kilograms and this circle has 40, what is the square radius of Bob's head? It was
exactly
stuff like that.
And what's that going to do with anything to do with our jobs in the future? Like, we're never going to find the square radius of Bob's head, are we?
No.
So it's just so stupid, you know. So yeah, I do hope the system changes for our kids.
But the thing is, Rishi Sunak now is talking about like, I think we should have maths until the
18 and 24
no!
with the HE plans.
No
I'm
way!
Like, so,
this
exactly.
Is the thing. I would actually agree with that if the maths was actually maths that would help you in the future, like paying taxes, bills and stuff. But it's not. It's those stupid questions like, oh, how many tiles does this room need to create an earthquake? It's got nothing to do with anything that you're going to need. And if that actually happens, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it will happen.
I mean, why haven't you made a video on this? You're Ryan Rants. You should do a video.
I should do. I've been focusing on streaming at the minute.
A bit more on that later on.
Bit more on that later. Yeah.
Well, I say before we get on to the fun, more Nintendo side of the stuff. Well, yeah, it's kind of move on to the Nintendo stuff. Ryan, we've been I've been playing a bit of the good old Pokemon Unite. I finally downloaded it, guys. A lot of you actually messaging me being like, "Download it, blah, 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 amazing game." I was like, "Okay, all right," because I just got my Switch, right? So I was like, it was apparently like it's really popular. I've seen like people. It's kind of boomed recently with the new update with the Inteleon, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try. It looks just like Pokemon Rumble but better in a way. Or just look a bit more good. I don't know, with more team. You know, play online with people without an Nintendo online membership.
You convinced me to download it.
I did. I played it. I was addicted, man. I was like, I was like, wow, this is so good. I don't even need a Nintendo membership online to play with other people. It's a bit like Ninjala, guys. It's like a Nintendo game that they allow you to play online, which Ninjala's pretty good, but not as good as this. I mean, so you kind of. I'm pretty sure most of you would know what Pokemon Unite is, guys. If you've been living under a rock, then Pokemon Unite is kind of taken off recently. It's basically where you play as a Pokemon. You kind of you can buy Pokemon. It's constantly new updates, and it's just it's like Fortnite. Yeah, so it's like I mean, Ryan could probably back me up on this. It's not exactly like this, but it's like Fortnite and Rocket League and Pokemon all mixed into one
together.
Yeah,
because you have to score sort of like nets, like
you have to score these goals, and you have to take down all the goals, and you need to like get kills as well. So you get KOs, and you have to kill the Pokemon with your power.
It's quite fun.
It's quite fun, and you get to use your Pokemon to their best ability. And of course, it's a Switch game, so you get. And it's also available on phone, but that's rubbish. Don't get on the phone.
I've seen the gameplay on phone, and I think the graphics are quite bad.
Absolutely horrendous, man. I've got a 4K Switch, so I'm like, that's amazing. This is great. This is so good and smooth.
I'm using my sibling's Switch too. To be honest, I think I've sort of I think it is our Switch, to be honest.
It's kind of stolen really it.
It's not really theirs, but it's more like ours now, because like
And you said your sister now kind of like doesn't play it as much these days, so you
barely
kind of
any, but
so you kind of taken the opportunity to like use it instead, which is fair enough, to be fair. But me and you've been playing that a lot, right?
It's really fun, to be honest. I mean, if I need and what the thing is as well, I need a new charger for the Switch that's compatible with the dock, because at the minute, guys, I cannot dock my Switch, and I'll tell you why. I've got the HDMI cable connected to TV. That's not the problem. The problem is you can't dock your Switch without the AC adapter. And and I tried this new cable that I got. I tried, and I connected it to the TV and the AC adapter, and it wasn't working. I was like,
oh no! So you got a new charger.
I looked online. And it said like, it charges the Switch, but it's not compatible with the dock. And I was like, well, crap! I wish you would have told me that before I bought it.
That's just stupid, then, isn't it? So you wasted your money.
I can still So I can still charge the Switch, which I couldn't before because I lost the charger. But now, I just can't use it in the dock. So I need
takes
to
like
find
5 hours
to use it in the dock. Not 5 hours. Well, yeah, from 0 to 100, it'll probably be 5 hours, but it does hold the charge a bit better now for some reason.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. That's good then.
It depends what game you're playing.
I mean, I've got the OLED, of course, and it takes. What
would you do if
10 minutes?
I told you. What would you do if I told you I got my own Switch, right? And you were like, and then I told you it was a Switch Lite. Yeah. What would you do?
I'd probably. I don't know. I'll be like, okay, fair enough. I mean, your budget. If you got a small budget, then yeah.
How much is the Switch? 200 quid.
the Switch Lite's 150.
Oh, it's 100.
Yeah, it's even cheaper. So I'll be like, Ryan, what are you doing?
I think you can get a used. I think you can get a used Nintendo Switch Lite for about 50 to 100.
Oh yeah, I can get really cheap stuff, but it's probably rubbish and break in like 2 seconds. Yeah. But the thing is, though, I would probably be like, why? Because you can easily save up for the good experience.
Yeah, no, I've never seen the point of the Switch Lite.
Yeah, it's
unless
you only smaller than anything.
Like, yeah, I guess if you only want to play portably and you have no intention of playing on the TV, I guess the Switch Lite is for you. But
it's still, the screen's so tiny. You can still buy a normal Switch and still have the extra option of docking if you ever want to do it. You might as well get the Switch. Like, save up the extra mile. That's what I'm saying. Don't spend. Also, it's always worth going
if your Joy-Cons start drifting, then you can replace them with other Joy-Cons. If your Joy-Cons start drifting on the Switch,
you can't just saw it off.
No, there's not much I can say, mate. You just
throw
it out and buy
a way. Yeah, there's a way. What? Just grab a saw from your garden shed. Go, yeah, exactly. Just give it a good saw.
That's how I turned my Wii U into a Switch. You just like get the Wii U gamepad and just axe the sides off.
Axe the sides. That's fierce. It's like getting an entire battle axe and just like whack. And just like
I saw that video when the Switch Lite came. Oh, also, the Switch has been been here for 7 years. Is that true?
Yeah. It's
way.
It's crazy. 2017. I can't believe it. Like, the Switch has been here for 7 years, but it feels a lot. That's gone so fast, isn't it? I can't. I feel like.
I remember when it first came out. Like the original model, and everyone was like, everyone wanted one. Like everybody wanted.
Yeah, I mean, it was so popular. I mean, now it's still popular today. Like, why is it not? It's kind of not died yet, has it?
I've sort of wondered. This is sort of just a thing I've been thinking about recently.
Yeah,
I might have mentioned this before. Is there like sort of so you know how like we say like, oh, say for example, there's what's a good example? So, like the Game Boy, for example, like say Game Boy Advance, right?
Yes.
You can get some of those for like, or a DS Lite. You can get those for like way cheaper than when they first came out. Do you think you'll be able to get, like, say in like 50 years? Do you think you'll be able to get a Switch OLED for like 20 quid because it's old?
Oh. I mean,
I've been wondering about that.
That's a fair point, but here's the thing though: Nintendo 3DSs, they're still they're being overpriced because. Not only is there not, think about it.
There's a lot of. I mean, the GameCube is like quite expensive because it's like vintage.
I actually think it would be the opposite. I think they would up the price because it's older and more people want it. Maybe because of vintage style. I mean, 50 years is way into the future, but I do feel like some people would still. I feel like it would maybe higher.
I still don't know what's next for Nintendo. Are they just going to keep releasing new Switches?
Yeah,
they're going to do like
this is the thing. This is the exciting thing for all of us. The whole JR's Game podcast is just waiting for the new device to come out so we can all review it and be like, this is either going to be good or absolutely crap.
I don't know where they can go from here. They made a console that you can play portably and at home. What do they do next?
Hopefully not the Metaverse. Bloody hell!
No, please.
That would be the downfall of Nintendo. That would be pretty swiftly as well. I mean, I was talking with Elijah about this when he was on. Maybe an intent I wouldn't like the idea of this because they're not this sort of like gaming, but the one thing they should not do is like either create a Nintendo PC or a Nintendo PlayStation console.
No.
Yeah, because that'd be so wrong.
They wouldn't make a Nintendo PlayStation because Sony owns the PlayStation.
Exactly. Well, not like a Nintendo PlayStation, but you know how like the PlayStation has its own box, like power box.
Yeah, well, that's been sort of that like Nintendo started that like with the NES, like that was a box and a controller.
So they're the ones
they could possibly, but I don't see the point.
I don't see the point because that's just I feel like they would get backlash because and the PlayStation 5
what are they going to do?
Unbeatable.
Hold on, what are they going to do next though? So say like if they want to make a portable console, they'll say, well, the Switch could be portable or at home. Well, if they want to make a home console, they can say, well, the Switch can be at home or portable. So like either way, they're going to get backlash unless they. It's hard for them. I feel sorry.
Hard. I do feel sorry for them, man, because I can't really see what they're going to do. But then again, I'm getting scared because they've said, there's definitely the Switch has already been, they've already thought of it. It's already in the works right now, like in top secret, and they're going to release it at some point either next year or next year. And I'm like, is that a good idea? Have they rushed it? But then I'm like, hang on a second, it's been 7 years. That's a good time to think about the next console.
Start thinking about the next console.
But then again, we shouldn't blame them too much if they do bring out something similar to the PlayStation 5 because the PlayStation 5 came out fairly recently, so they would have probably thought up of the next Nintendo Switch before the PlayStation 5 was released. Meaning they haven't got much. They're not really copying anyone. They kind of. I mean, as soon as they released the Nintendo Switch, they thought of the next console immediately. Like, let's think about the next one. Think about the next one.
Yeah, that's how they work. But the thing is that I don't know. I think because they started, if you think about it, they started that Nintendo and Sega started that sort of like box trend.
They did, yeah, with the NES and stuff, the little box
NES
thing.
and like the Sega Mega Drive and stuff. Like
That's the
Sega,
original stuff. That's where it kind of came out of them.
So
And it was stolen by Sony.
if they like do something like that, and people are just like, oh, you're copying the PS5. Those people I don't think have been alive very long. I think
also
those
Sony actually copied Nintendo, I think, because they actually started with handhelds. I'm pretty sure. Didn't Sony start with the little handheld first? Am I correct? Because you got the Steam Deck as well. I don't know. I don't know.
The PS1 was a box, but they released the PS Portable, which is a handheld.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The PS Portable. I think that was before that.
So that's the PSP. They released the PSP, but then they released the PS Vita, which is sort of like a portable.
That was after the PSP, though. So they technically were the first handheld ones. That's quite interesting. And of course, Nintendo were card games at first. That's just like way old. That's like 18 or something. But I think. Yeah, funny enough, not 18. Sorry, that's way too back. Like it's 19 something. They did a card game in like 1980s. But I think honestly, I'm excited. But then again, the OLED came out 2 years ago. Like the OLED's a fairly new console. Like and also that's
was it actually 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I thought it was less than that.
Oh yeah, it's
where have the years gone, man?
I know, man. It's insane. But the OLED came out in 2021. And as far as I can remember, and I've got the OLED, and as far as I know, the OLED is completely great. Mine's not got Joy-Con drift yet. I play a lot of Assault Legends at the moment, which is a free card game you can get on the Switch, and it's great. There's no Joy-Con drift yet, and there isn't, and no, my controls are fine, and also it's great. The back of the Switch, right? You know the stand pad, which like in the Switch, that was a bit of a fail. It kind of is all flimsy and it's hard to pull out on the normal Switch. I think Roan, you can relate to that. With the OLED, they fixed that. They've got this nice big, easy to lift out flap, and it's so nice. It's so nice, man.
That should have been a feature from the beginning, I think, because they didn't really. It's sort of I don't know. The kickstand on the regular Switches really isn't good, and also I'll tell you a bit about that. Like. I don't think I've ever said this on the podcast. I've got a very bad habit, which is I bite my nails. So
everyone has that sometimes. I don't, but my sister does.
It's torture. It's absolute torture to get the kickstand out when you're just using your finger without the nail. I literally have to get like someone who has good nails to get the kickstand out for me. But I don't really use the kickstand that often. Like if I want to play on a big screen with like a controller, I normally just dock it.
I mean, I understand because number one, I just thought of something funny. You know the meme where that guy, that bold actor, I forget his name, he's like got glasses and he's kind of bold. He smashes this TV up. I just imagine Pov, you bite your nails and you have a Switch. I can imagine he's going, no, I can't do this. I have to send it to you later.
A lot of stuff have that. Like the game card flap still, I think on the OLED still.
Oh, the OLED still has a pretty hard game card to get out. But the OLED, basically, if I can describe the OLED and what they thought of that, it's basically a fixed up Switch. They fixed up all the problems and released it, but they have added things as well. So they made the screen at least 5 times bigger than the Switch screen, so it's way nicer. Yeah, it's way nicer. I mean,
really? I thought from what I've seen, it's just like a
2 times actually. Inches. Never mind. That's actually an exaggeration on my part. Not 5 times.
I think 5 times would be like a 48-inch TV.
Yeah, not 5 times. I'm very sorry about that.
That's fine.
I have seen actually a YouTube video of someone actually had this little extendable screen he actually put in. That's another story though. But yeah, mine's at least 2 times as bigger. So the screen is bigger, and then they put 4K on that. It's an OLED, so it's really nice for you to look at if you're playing it portably, as well as on a TV. So if you're playing it portably, you've got a really nice big screen display, 4K screening, really nice, frame rate is high on the Switch. It's like really high frame rate, and the FPS is like 120. And then also you've got the kickstand flaps out really nicely, and the reason for that is because the OLED, even if you haven't got a TV, you can still play it disconnected from the Joy-Cons. More fun. It's more fun because the actual screen is big anyway. It's like a mini iPad. It's fine, I can put it on the side and play it. That's what I do sometimes. I disconnect the Joy-Cons when I'm more of a PlayStation experience. When I'm playing, believe it or not, I hate to admit it, I do not like Fortnite. But I played it with Rowan because it's fun with friends.
It's just fun with friends.
Yeah.
Like
so I was
on
playing,
its own, it's gone downhill really.
It's gone downhill. But I was playing Fortnite because I was bored with Rowan like yesterday, and I actually disconnected the Joy-Cons and put it into the controller and played it separately from the screen because I feel like it's more with an FPS game. You want to kind of first-person shooter game. You want to kind of make sure that you've got that ultimate control of the controller.
I've done that once, but like if I want like that experience, I tend to just dock it. But
that's a fair point. That's
if you don't have like a TV free, then that's a solution as well.
That's a solution if you have a TV free.
But I tend to do that just because I can't get a kickstand out. Like it's
and I've got a TV downstairs, so I can dock it to that. But the problem is, right, I've not got my own room TV. I'm saving up for a new room TV. That's actually good and big and nice, and that's when I can actually dock it and I can play on like Fortnite and stuff, big screen. But yeah, so yeah, I think. Yeah, so it kind of like sums that up. Nintendo's sort of OLED. It's kind of like a fixed Switch, but better. They made it better. So get an OLED.
Like, I found out that about like my PC. This is just a little thing. I'm really happy because I just thought like I could technically like keep upgrading this PC. Like so, if I wanted a better PC, I wouldn't have to buy a whole new PC, Judah.
Yeah, it's a gaming PC. You can like do different things, right?
So you can like take things out and install like better components in it.
Yeah, that's why I love gaming.
Like, say for example, if I wanted to put like a GTX 1050 Ti in it, I could take out the current processor, install that, and it would like just run like a new PC.
Exactly. You can just get a new one.
Yeah.
Man, like not a new PC, but you can get new components.
Yeah.
To make it perfect. Yeah, I love game PCs.
So technically, like in 10 years, this could technically be a supercomputer if I save up for all the parts.
Oh yeah. You can like get a high graphics card as well.
Yeah.
And 3 monitors and like connect it all together. You can slowly upgrade your stuff.
I need a bigger desk to get 3 monitors.
Yeah, that'd be achievable.
Oh yeah. Also, apparently there's this software where you can turn like a tablet or a phone into a second monitor. So there's this app you can connect and you can use it as a second monitor, which is it's going to be a smaller monitor definitely if you're using a phone. But
things like Switch though, that's good. Like
yeah.
I mean, you can like with an iPad, you can like it's not really a monitor really, but if you've got like a monitor set up and you're doing Twitch streaming, and you've got like a small iPad on a kickstand or a phone on a kickstand, and the Twitch chat just popping up.
I just use my phone for chat. So I've got basically what I do is there's like a sort of the screen. My PC is like what I'm playing.
Yeah.
And then my phone's just to the right of me, stood up. The chat's just there.
Yeah. That's pretty fun though. To be fair, before we move on to the news of the week, I have something quite funny to talk about. I was scrolling through YouTube Shorts as you do, and I found something quite funny. You know Ludwig, who is but most noticeably one of the most. He's probably the biggest or the face of Twitch. Like he's one of the biggest Twitch streamers ever, right? Ludwig, or Myogul Mule. He was saying, not telling me personally, but he was saying on this YouTube short that when he was like first starting streaming, like you right now, Rowan, he was just having like 2 viewers that were his family and friends. He was constantly, he was playing his game, and he was constantly looking back at his chat, right, to see if he could read anything out. But there was hardly anything there because that was when he was like hardly had any viewers, right? And he was like 18. And he made a funny joke. He said someone actually roasted him without being too savage. So someone was in his chat watching his stream, and he kept on looking at his chat, and you could see in the actual footage of him playing this game, you can see his head keep turning at the chat to see if he can read anything out, right, to check if his chat's like replied. And someone wrote in the chat, "Stop looking here, mate, because there's nothing here." He said that live. And he said this is the one time he actually got roasted and offended and visibly traumatized by a viewer.
Someone put in my chat while I was reacting to the FNAF thing. Someone put like okay, it's like a viewer that keeps coming back, which I appreciate. But he put Roan rants is dumb. Or like Rowan is dumb, a random 3-year-old. And I said, wait, what do you mean by that? And he said, oh, a random 3-year-old says you're bad. And I said, really? Where? And he said, no. But I was just saying if a random 3-year-old said you were bad. And I was just like, that was a very in-depth joke.
Yeah, I mean, the chat can be like that. You can get people that are quite funny.
I do appreciate the people who keep coming back to my streams. I've got a few people who keep coming back. Which is always
great.
Good.
And you just started streaming, so that's pretty good. I mean, think about it, man. Every big streamer was once sitting in a chair with like 2 viewers anyway, being like, yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not. I'm not eligible to earn from it off anything until I'm 18. That's ages away.
And 500 subs.
Well, no. Actually, no. I could choose to earn through Streamlabs, which hasn't got an age limit. So if I choose to earn through YouTube, you have to have 500 subs. However, if you want to earn through Streamlabs, you can turn on Streamlabs donations, and I could do that. But but they only accept PayPal, and to set up a PayPal, you need to be 18.
So
either way, I'm just screwed.
How old are you now? Like 16, is it right?
I'm 16 now. Yeah, so 2 years.
Yeah. So you have to wait 2 years. Oh man, but you can build it up in that time, and then by the time you get the PayPal, and if you've got a good audience, you can just stream that money in. You know.
That's the thing, though. It was so annoying. Someone in the chat put, "Oh, I have €1 left in my account. I would send it to you, but you've got no donation set up." So people are willing to donate,
even small money.
Yeah,
It's like, oh,
it's so annoying, man. It's my age is like holding so much stuff back for streaming at the minute.
Oh man, when you turn 18, it's so fun. Like I'm 18 now, and like the boundaries just are lifted, and it's like, yes, so good. But yeah, until that day comes. But before we move on to Nintendo Music Wars, Rowan, talking of streaming, you've had some great news. I mean, I already knew this, but Rowan, tonight, hopefully, we're going to be releasing a 3DS. Maybe if you've got it up. But what's going on with the 3DS? Why streaming?
I've had this app on my do we call it, like sort of application. on my Hack 3DS called Boot NTR Selector.
Yeah.
And I've not done anything with it for ages, but I suddenly thought, you know what, today I should try this. So what I did, I downloaded this program called Snicker Stream.
Yes.
And it's basically it's easy. So what you do is you go into I went into my 3DS, I set up Boot NTR Selector, that Boot NTR Selector is running. I then went into the Rosalina menu, which is sort of a menu for like Hack 3DSs.
Yeah, the princess from Mario.
Got my 3DS is IP, and then put the IP into Snicker Stream, hit connect, and there in front of my eyes on my PC screen was my 3DS screen.
That's amazing. And you can set the FPS. You can also set the FPS naturally as well. And it's just like, that's insane, man. So that means you can now stream so many games.
So many games.
Like from Monster Hunter to
CTGP7.
CTGP7, Mario Kart, Animal Crossing New Leaf. There's so much you can do, man. Mario 64. Oh man, like you're gonna bring in all the old 3DS people again. And also, I've been noticing a trend, Rowan, of people recently streaming old 3DS games. Like I don't know why, but it's one of the trends that I was watching. I'm subscribed to a guy called Maya Mori, I think his name is, and he's an Animal Crossing guy, and he's always playing New Horizons. And he's now he only just started streaming his journey on Animal Crossing New Leaf again. So he's actually revisiting the old game and streaming that in 2023. It's like, let's play Animal Crossing New Leaf in 2023. So you could get on that trend and be like, let's play Mario Kart 7 in 2023. And just I put that as the stream title because that's like a trend. So you're like, okay, let's play. I don't know what you're gonna play. Monster Hunter. I don't know if you want to do that. Anything you can do because the H shop is existing. You can get. Sadly, the eShop is shut, so you can get. Thankfully, unfortunately, the games are no longer available to get at all.
The H shop is, by the way, the H shop right now. I learned. I've not been mentioning it on the podcast, but then you pointed out that it's fine now because there's no other ways to get it, and then that's Nintendo's fault. I mean, if you didn't shut down the eShop, none of this would have happened.
Exactly, and hopefully, I mean, I like talking about the H shop to recommend people to get it, and many YouTubers have been making videos saying let's get the H shop, and that's all well and good, but we have to be careful because if Nintendo actually properly gets wind of this, they could shut it down. There's
no need to make so many tutorials. Like I think.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Yeah, everyone knows. Don't keep posting videos about it. That's my advice. Because if Nintendo, I mean, they probably already know. They don't already know about it, don't they?
They probably know, man. But the good thing is, I think Nintendo haven't struck yet.
The reason the free shop got taken down was because the eShop was still up.
Yeah, now that is definitely illegal. If the eShop was up before when the eShop was up, and that was illegal because you can actually buy games, and that's just bad. Like you can always buy the games, which is the illegal way. But now there's no eShop. You can't buy games from a shop that doesn't exist. So. Well,
and I'm not going to pay, Fat Bob at his computer 60 quid
for a game that's like 15 quid. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, so basically, the H shop exists, and it's so sad that you can literally get big scale games that you can.
Technically, though, I've got loads of like physical 3DS games. So like, are they worth something now?
Maybe that's a fair point though, because you can just transfer.
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to sell them because I'm not like that.
Yeah, I'll just collect them.
But they like sort of if they're worth something now, like they're probably gone up in value if there's no way to get them on the eShop.
Exactly.
But, but anyways, aside from the Boot NTR thing about 3DS, I've also ordered a capture card to capture. I mean, Xbox, PS4, and possibly Nintendo Switch.
He's all set up now.
So
Streamer set up.
Hopefully it works. I remember you had a bit of a nightmare about a capture card a while ago.
Oh, nightmare.
But hopefully it works because The process seems quite easy.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully the capture card wasn't as confusing as the watch strap I ordered as well, along with the capture card. Oh man, I'm not gonna go around that down. That was a funny episode. That was like last year.
Should we? Yeah, that was last year. Wow,
that was last year. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, news of the week. Should we jump in?
Well, thankfully today Rowan's actually leading this episode, which is great because he's not been on the episode, and it's time for him to come back. And it'll be good if Rowan leads today's episode. So for news of the week, what's going on this week with Nintendo, Rowan?
Right. So the first story is Nintendo advises against blowing into your Switch cartridge.
What's this? It's like newspaper headlines. Blow into your cartridge shots.
Right. So let's read it.
Okay, let's go.
Remember the days when consoles took humongous cartridges and it became almost tradition to blow into them occasionally to ensure their ongoing health and happiness? Well, it turns out that Nintendo doesn't want you to do that anymore. Wow. Okay. As posted by Nintendo's Twitter support page and spotted by the folks over at Automaton, what's that?
Automaton, yeah.
It's been advised that you shouldn't blow into the Switch's cartridge slot, as doing so may cause saliva to stick to the terminals and therefore eventually cause rust.
Crikey.
Wow, the tweets read, inside of the game card slots, there are contactors that read the game cards. If you try to clean this area with a cotton swab or insert a damaged game card, you could possibly damage the card reader. Please do not touch the inside of the game card slot. If dust gets into the game card slot, use a vacuum cleaner to clean it. Wait, what? So just put
vacuum cleaner.
Just put a Hoover up to it.
right, Fred. I'm just gonna get Henry out. The Henry the Hoover.
Yeah. Do not breathe into it or Do not breathe into it or similar. Saliva may adhere to the contactors and cause rust or corrosion. Now, what I want to ask about this is that we all do this, don't we? 3DS, we blow on the cards and then put them in.
Natural human
apparently,
instinct.
That will deplete the life of the card and possibly the device.
Oh dear, that's not good.
So what do you think about this?
Now, my first original reaction is that it makes sense, number one. But then I'm like, oh crap, don't we all do that to every single console we've ever owned?
I think we do.
Like, to be fair, this is like, I like how Nintendo have made a whole flipping, like, a whole new statement. Like, we are issuing a statement. Do not blow into thy console. I'm like, okay, all right, calm down. I mean, to be fair, it's a bit of common sense that when you blow into your console game cartridge, it feels like you shouldn't be doing it. Like you feel like this could damage it. Like it's just common sense.
Yeah, because apparently, like when you blow into like cartridges or the cartridge slot, you may feel like you're just blowing air, but actually there's like little like particles of like saliva coming out, which could possibly damage it.
Yeah, and it makes sense to be fair, because also like I think we naturally do it is because in our game cards and like that naturally doesn't read or doesn't go in.
Yeah, and
time.
It does work though. If
it
you
does,
blow into it and put it back in, it works.
It's because like the dust inside that sometimes gets in.
Yeah,
that is the annoying thing, but I think Nintendo Switch fixed that, which is quite interesting because you think about it, Nintendo Switch actually has a card slot, like now, so it actually covers the top, so there's no need to blow into it anymore. But with 3DS, it's just an open card.
That was the issue before, like with a lot of stuff.
That was the issue. So now the Nintendo Switch kind of fixed that with the kind of the game card capture like lid that goes over the top. So
that is on all Switches, which is good.
Yeah, but funny thing is, like blowing, they advise against it for blowing into your Switch. But who's blowing into their Switch cartridge slots if the actual slot lid is on? Yeah, like how's dust going to get in it?
It says Switch here. I guess it says Switch here, but I guess it means all like sort of consoles like the DS.
That's fair point.
My DS Lite, I blew a ton of air into the card slot.
Blew it up.
But it never caused damage. That Nintendo DS Lite still works to this day.
Does it really? You still? Oh man, that could be sold for so much money. But I'm not going to do it. But that's insane. I mean, to be fair, like with blowing into things, I remember actually. It's funny you mentioned that it's like a thing because I remember you actually 2 years ago you came around my house and we were going somewhere in the car. Yeah, I remember like you actually panicked. You were panicking. Because like you were putting your card slots in, and like nothing was loading.
I'll say this right. So I was playing some games on the way to somewhere.
Yeah.
On the DS, right? So and I thought, right, let's play another game. Took that game card out, put that game card in. I thought, oh, this game card's not reading. I blew it. I did everything. It didn't. So I was like, okay, I'll just play another game. and that one didn't work. And then another one, and another one. It wasn't working. And my DS was just. It's like my DS was just like, no, I don't feel like it today.
Yeah.
And so I had a panic attack. I thought either my DS was broke or
I could see the distress clearly coming onto
your face.
However,
after that day, I got home, put them in, and they started working again. I couldn't fathom why it was happening. It's like my DS just went. I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really feeling it today. So I'm not gonna scan. I'm not gonna read any of the games if that's all right.
That's just I don't know why people. Strange. Like, it just decides one day I'm not gonna read it. Like I think it's the device is getting old because. My device is like 6 years old as well, and it's mine's
still alive and kicking. To be honest,
yeah.
All I needed was a new SD card, and then it was working fine. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, at least you didn't blow into the slot. However, you did. I was clearly getting more.
Yeah, I blew into the games, but not the slot.
Yeah, the games. I don't know. It doesn't really say don't blow into your games, but I guess it all does the same thing. It's all just kind of messing up the reader, but. Kind of common sense here. It's just funny that Nintendo have actually issued an advice to not blow into it. I mean, they're probably getting lots of complaints or emails saying we are struggling.
Yeah, parents, angry parents going, "Oh, my son is DS is not working,"
and I see him every day giving it a blowjob. Nintendo's like, okay, right, enough of this. So they're listening to fan complaints about blowing into their 3DSs, but they're not listening to complaints about Point Crow getting all his entire career and livelihood taken down. Yeah. Dear me, Nintendo, what crackheads. Who's running this office?
Who's like what? Gary Bowser as well, like still in prison. Is he in prison?
I think I'm not actually up to date with the whole thing, but
I can't believe that.
No, he's released it. He's Gary Bowser. We discussed this with Elijah when he was on, but Rowan has also been up to date with the whole Gary Bowser situation. Gary Bowser was released from prison, but he's had to pay a $10 million fine,
and he has to make that money like over
and over. And how's he going to do that? Because he's got what? He got a criminal record. So how's he going to get a job? And there's no way you can make £10 million. No one
didn't even make that much. He made nowhere near that.
Yeah, he made nowhere near $1 million. So. Exactly.
I feel so sorry. I mean, what he did, what he did. I mean, you can't excuse it. But but I think Nintendo really went overboard with the punishment.
I mean, they wipe their arsehole with $1 billion notes. Yeah. They've got so much money. Why are they just getting a criminal to pay them all this money? And it's not gonna his kids are gonna have to pay us off. He'll be dead. It's not gonna
affect Nintendo in any way. 10 million won't do anything to them. They've already got billions in the bank.
Exactly. It's a whole controversy. Rowan, I think this is another video for you to make. So
I think it is.
Note that down.
I need a list. I need to list a lot.
There are so many things around that you could make videos because you are the ranter, aren't you, of the internet? Yeah. But. It's just bollocks, honestly. Back to the kind of the news situation, guys. Do not blow into your Switch cartridges.
Yeah.
Do not do it.
Do not do it. If you blow into your Switch cartridges, you're gonna die.
You're gonna die. Do it. Don't do it. Don't do it anymore. Right, we'll do it. Anyway, what's next, Ryan?
So the second story is Ubisoft's The Settlers. Now, New Allies is now available on the Nintendo Switch. I've got something to say about this, and it's not positive.
Oh no! Let me just quickly search this up. What is Ubisoft The Settlers?
I'm not too sure. It's sort of I think it's a game that was on PC and is now ported to Nintendo Switch.
Oh, The Settlers! I've seen people stream that.
I have seen The Settlers, yeah. But let's read it. So. After releasing on PC earlier this year, Ubisoft has finally rolled out the console version of The Settlers' New Allies for all platforms, including the Nintendo Switch. As previously noted, this is the latest entry in the classic RTS series, which also happens to reboot the entire series. Players can look forward to 13 campaign missions, 13 skirmish maps for multiplayer PvP and PvE, and hardcore mode for an extra challenge. The standard edition will set you back $59.99 USD, or about £46.74. And the deluxe edition, containing various extra digital goodies, is priced at $79.99, or about £62.32.
What the heck? That's so expensive.
It's quite expensive, yeah. Now, developed by Ubisoft Dusseldorf, The Settlers, New Allies is a modern.
It's like a new dwarf in Lord of the Rings.
On the
Dusseldorf.
New Allies is a modern take on the long-established The Settlers franchise, combining elaborate infrastructure and economic gameplay with tactical real-time battles. Starting with a small group of settlers, players must explore their surroundings, build up their settlements, and optimize resource production to recruit new settlers and an army able to protect their land. Researching economic and military upgrades is critical to create a strong army and overcome rivals. Now, this is where it gets quite bad. Unfortunately, there are some minor technical setbacks in the Nintendo Switch version of the game. When disconnecting from a multiplayer match, players on the Nintendo Switch will not be able to reconnect. Connecting,
what?
Yeah, I mean, you can reconnect in basically every other game, but yeah, whatever.
Apart from this one.
The next one, connecting residences will not show a visual connection between the buildings, archways, etc. This does not affect gameplay, so I guess it's not too. But the next one is, in my opinion, inexcusable. In 4 versus 4 skirmish matches, all players will be limited to 250 units, down from 500. And that is only on the Nintendo Switch version, so they've decreased the amount of unites, I think it's unites, that you're able to have. Now,
you're going to get completely and utterly destroyed. There's people there with like units for 500, and you've got a little measly 250.
It might be cross-platforms, which is an even bigger issue. But the thing is that 500 down to 250. This one thing that annoys me. It seems like developers constantly underestimate the Nintendo Switch.
They can easily do 500, man.
They can easily do 500.
Like
the PS4, if the PS4 can handle 500, because as it's stated, this is only on the Nintendo Switch version of the game. So the developers, Ubisoft, have looked at the Nintendo Switch and gone, we're going to lower it down from 500 to 250, which is significant.
It's an insult. It's an insult to Nintendo because
I mean, that's half. They've just halved it, haven't they?
Halved it. And that's a small amount.
250.
I mean, I saw a lot of comments saying, "Oh, Switch is For instance, let me give an example. Fortnite is gonna. You have to have a high quality thing to run Fortnite. I mean, because of the amount of people playing it and the graphics and loading servers. I've got the OLED, the top Switch. My Switch has not had a single lag. Fortnite is super smooth. Subnautica super smooth. I've seen
I've seen Fortnite gameplay on the normal Switch, and it's not even laggy either.
Exactly, the Switch can do it, and the OLED can definitely do it. I mean, the OLED can run this no problem. The OLED is the best Switch in the series. It can run hyper FPS. It can run hard games very well. Yeah. It's basically the PlayStation 5.
But they've lowered this down. There's not like an upgrade for the OLED. Even on the OLED, you will not be able to have more than 250 unites.
I mean, the OLED can easily run this. I mean, and the Switch could too.
I think the normal Switch could, but especially the OLED.
The OLED will. Yeah, but it's like, man, is there complaints? Is there a reason
people
why?
Constantly. I mean, and I think on the OLED, say for example, they remember with like all the FIFA games, like EA Sports just made them absolutely crap.
Oh yeah, I mean the OLED can run FIFA on like a high 4K as well, and they kind of I mean I understand really because I mean FIFA's also available for the Switch normal. They can't really make an exclusive for the OLED, I guess, but
yeah.
I mean if they did make an exclusive for the OLEd would be able to run FIFA really well, but I don't play FIFA anyway. But the Settlers though, 43% like this.
And if you look at if you look at some of the screenshots on the Nintendo Life website, the game doesn't look that demanding anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It looks pretty. It looks like one of those classic army games where you have groups of
like Clash of Clans.
Like Clash of Clans. That's on the mobile. That's got more.
That's on a mobile device. I mean, I think anything made after the year 2018 or 2017 would be able to run this game with 500. I don't know why they've done that. They've halved the amount that you can have.
It's like Ubisoft have looked at Nintendo and been like, "You guys are rubbish. We're gonna make you have."
It just annoys me because it feels like when you mention it seems like a lot of people online have this false sort of thing about the Nintendo Switch. It's like, oh, it's not powerful enough.
Oh, it's lag. No, shut up.
But that's just I don't know. I feel like that's inexcusable. But overall, I mean, and the game, I feel like it is a good port. Other than that, I mean, that's just. I don't know.
Bro, I used to get really mad, like even in school. It's quite funny enough. Like even like you see it all the time. The people that like shit on the Nintendo Switch saying it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
They're the people that don't even play it. They've never even put their hand.
They've never even played it. No.
They've never put their hand on a Nintendo. Instead, they grew up with PlayStation, and they're like, "Yeah, PlayStation's amazing." I'm like, "Yeah, it is, but
it is." But you got to give the Nintendo Switch a chance. Like people who haven't played it, like that's what I don't understand.
All the only people that haven't played it, the people that just like go, "Meh, rubbish, lag, meh, Roblox Switch."
Yeah.
I mean, until they actually play it, they can't speak at all, and they've got no argument.
I mean, and some people would say like, oh, I've actually played the Nintendo Switch, and I still think it's rubbish. But they're like, that's an opinion. That's not an opinion,
and they actually don't have any evidence. Like, they don't actually support it.
That could be a lie. That could be a lie.
It is. No, funny. It could be a lie because I actually changed. I was thinking of some guy. It wasn't even a friend, but I was like, He's like, oh, it's such a laggy device. And he's talking about the 3DS, and I was like, Ryan,
3DS is not laggy.
3DS doesn't even lag once. So I was like,
no,
so if you tried it, he's like, oh, it's just laggy, innit, mate? I was like, have you tried it? He's like, oh, you're laggy, innit, mate? I was like, yeah, this guy's a crackhead. He's on crack and he's on smoke because he has not answered me. I was like, so where is the lag? So what game that you played had lag? And he was like, oh no, just laggy, innit? I was like, exactly. I mean, great piece of evidence, mate. Great.
Yeah, but like I honestly like I mean, yeah, the 3DS's games like have been optimized for that system, but like they're not. It's not gonna. I don't know. Nintendo gets like I feel like if you say like, oh, what do you prefer, Xbox or PlayStation? If you say Nintendo, they go.
Yeah, it's PlayStation. Like, PlayStation just has more of the OG FPS games. I think.
Yeah, they've got a good selection. Like without bias, I will say that the PlayStation and Xbox have like a really good selection of games.
Yeah, I love the PlayStation.
But you can't play like if you want to play any sort of like Mario or like Pokemon, you need a Nintendo device.
Exactly, and Nintendo Switch can actually run like FPS games really well as well. So
yeah.
And they are available on the PlayStation. So the Switch is simply just the Nintendo is simply just a gaming company that create better games, and the Switch is better than the PlayStation with portability. So there you go. And the OLED is basically a PlayStation 5 for the Switch. So,
yeah. And it's in the same colours as the PS5.
It's basically they're basically compared. They are kind of the same thing.
But anyways, shall we go on to story 3?
Yes, let's go on to story 3. This a bit disappointing from Ubisoft. It's a bit sad, but just don't play. Yeah. I mean, hardly anyone played.
I think devs need to learn that like the Switch is capable of running.
It's evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and if you don't want to put it on all Switches, at least put it on the OLED. I feel like that's possible.
Exactly, you could put that on the OLED. They could have done that, but no, they're too lazy. Probably, I've no.
Now this one this one like really amazed me when I saw it. So, story number 3. Tears of the Kingdom player creates the perfect master hand from Super Smash Bros.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
So let's read. Ever since the launch of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom back in May, players worldwide have been using the Ultra Hand ability to create some truly marvelous works of art, from giant mechs to Korok torture devices. Wow.
Yeah.
This latest creation, however, has to be our favourite so far because it's none other than the Master Hand from Super Smash Bros. Franchise. Are you familiar with Master Hand?
The Master Hand, yes, I'm very familiar with that.
It's like they actually hand that floats.
Yeah, I know. They actually created that on Tears of the Kingdom. I've not seen this. You carry on.
Right, so this latest creation, I read that. Typically showcased as a final boss of sorts during the Smash Bros. Single player segment, Master Hand is quite literally a floating hand that will attack a player with a range of unique moves, including missiles, laser beams, and, well, its fingers. Crazy Hand, a more erratic alternative to Master Hand, has also been known to Shaw's... What does that mean? I don't know.
Where's that? Where's the word?
Hold on. Has also been known to shows there truly no end to create it. That's got to be a typo.
That's got to be a typo, yes. Yeah, that's a typo.
Anyways, we particularly love how the player has perfectly replicated Master Hand's laser attack, and the accompanying music and sound effects are just wonderful. We're going to need to see a Master Hand versus Korok mech fight soon. Make it happen up alongside its right-handed sibling. Now, if you look at the video that this was sort of with, they've perfectly recreated all its moves, like all the moves.
Oh man,
they've put the hand in the game, and it's attacking the player as if it was like a boss in Tears of the Kingdom, and they made that.
Yeah,
the creativity seems like it's through the roof right now.
Tears of the Kingdom is probably by far one of the most creative RPG games we've ever had. Yeah, like there's hardly any limit to what you can do. People have made. I mean, if you listen to 2 episodes back, people have made pilotable T-Rexes on there. Yeah, pilotable. And you've got orchestras. They've made all sorts of things.
I listened to the video, and it sounds like they've put the actual like sound from the Master Hand in, like the laugh and stuff.
That's insane, man. I've got to check this out. But I knew. It was no surprise. I was like, Tears of the Kingdom. It's probably one of the biggest talked about games right now on YouTube and everything, due to the creativity. And bro, I'm looking forward to playing this game because what am I going to create?
The Kingdom, but I feel like it's annoying for me because I still haven't played Breath of the Wild, and it won't make sense.
You just want to get Tears of the Kingdom to create as well. Like you want to
create,
yeah, exactly. And it's the fusion as well.
When you talked about like Majora's Mask with that like moon face that was just looking at you.
That's the worst. Oh my, that's the worst game ever.
I think a lot of people. I mean, I think that was on like the GameCube. I think a lot of people have nostalgia for Majora's Mask. They're like, oh, it's such a good game.
I hate it.
But it's not for everyone, and that's. I mean, but so what? There was a moon.
in the sky,
and it was looking at you, and it blew up eventually.
Exactly what you just. I mean, Ryan, you like space, right? And this just goes against space and time.
No, yeah, that's not our face.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's Legend of Zelda, right? You're aware of that famous moon with the angry face.
Yeah, no,
right?
I did look it up after you said that, and I was horrified when I saw it.
It's something out of a nightmare, honestly. I never understood what was going on. I like Legend of Zelda, don't get me wrong. I'm not like a massive fan. I'm kind of like you, Rowan. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the fence. It's a good series. Tears of the Kingdom is an amazing game, and so is Breath of the Wild, and that's what I really want to play. And of course, there are smaller other games that they released for the 3DS that are absolutely amazing for Legend of Zelda. It's a great series, but that one game, I'm like, sorry, it's not for me. I don't understand. I was like,
I find Majora's Mask a bit eerie. Like,
yeah, have you played it? Did you try it?
I've seen clips of it, and it's sort of a bit dark for me. Like, I like the bright and colourful.
Yeah,
sort of,
it is a bit dark. I mean,
it's the same reason why
the vibrance and stuff with settings, but
like it's the same reason why Mario 64 creeps me out a bit. Is that like the emptiness of it? Like,
yeah, you do get that feeling with old games. It does kind of it's like a 3D old game. It's old. I don't like Majora's Mask. Sorry about everyone who.
But all like the disturbing like theories about Mario 64, like it's
it's a bit creepy. I get what you mean, but yeah, we're gonna hopefully. You can probably bust those theories on stream,
yeah,
in front of audience. But honestly, back to this news. This is amazing. So they've actually managed to make the hand, like with the mechanics.
Made the hand. It doesn't have his. It's not white in the original Smash Bros. It was white, but they've made like sort of the hand shape and all the voice lines, and they've actually managed to put all the moves in. So like the one where it does like the finger gun thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, they've made calculators on Tears of the Kingdom, like a working calculator.
Oh yeah.
So it's like they've made so much stuff, and like and Korok torture devices have got to be the best thing. Like imagine torturing the bosses on there. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And they're not really bosses, but they're bosses, but they're enemies. But I love, bro. Let's just get an idea. So let's say you will get Tears of the Kingdom eventually, and you're gonna stream it. I'm guessing you're gonna stream this game in the future, probably.
Yeah, probably in the future. Yeah.
If you get Tears of the Kingdom, what are you probably gonna make? If you can, you have to be pretty smart, I think. But
what would I make?
What would you make? I mean, there's so much stuff you can make. It's like
probably a boss from like a game.
Oh, fair enough.
So what's
recreate a boss? Yeah.
So I don't know,
Bowser
or something. Yeah.
I mean, you can make a palatable T-Rex. You can make a Bowser.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably have to like see what you can do. The T-Rex was very mechanic, but you can try and make that sort of humanoid shape that's big and round and fire and lasers. You can see what you could do. I mean, also, if I was to make it, I want to make an ultra fast plane. I mean, people have made that. People have made rockets and like zoom to space on like, this game. So like, I'm like, well, I'm gonna try and make a plane, and it's like goes super fast and can travel across Hyrule in no speed time.
So when does this come into play? Like, is this like in a different mode?
I don't know. I've got a feeling because it's an open world game. You can play it in order. You can get to the first boss if you want to through creativity. Which actually no, I've rephrased that wrong. My friend told me that apparently when you're playing this game, right? Yeah, it's not about the order you play it in. It's all about like who you can literally get to the last boss from as soon as you start the game. Do you know why? You using the creativity aspects, you can like create a plane and zoom to the end of the game.
Oh.
Exactly, because it's an open
world.
So
is that game. What like speedrunners do then?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but you can't do it because you're not higher level. You need to be like a high level. So no, there's no creative mode, but you can do that from the get go. I think you can create from the get go. You can just start collecting resources, as far as I know, from what I've seen of gameplay videos. Of course, you have to like level up and stuff. But the more you play the game, I think the more you start to get used to the controls. The more you can create things, and you can create things that it's almost like cheating, like a giant T-Rex. Imagine making that hand from Smash Bros, but using it, the Master Hand, and using it for you and actually smashing up your bosses.
I mean, the user like sort of made it so it would attack him, so it'd be like sort of an extra boss. But you could absolutely make it so
it's like for you. Yeah. And like you can ride the T-Rex that they made. So yeah, I mean, you could essentially be really good at that game just by creativity, which is great, and that's the whole point. Like they want you to be creative. So yeah, get Tears of the Kingdom. And this is amazing. Honestly, this looks so fun, man. And the Master Hand, I never thought this would be in Tears of the Kingdom. Like, what a crossover.
Yeah.
Well, that's a swig of my water. I think that's it from News of the Week, guys.
News of the Week, yeah.
Yeah, that's it from News of the Week. Before we have a quick ad break, I'm going to give us a quick reminder that the Arceus debate is hopefully going to be commencing this month. Again, a quick reminder: there's no fixed date.
That's going to be amazing.
It's going to be absolutely amazing, but there's no fixed date for it yet. I need to kind of speak to everyone, get everyone in a group chat, and get everyone.
Once there's a fixed date, I'm sure it'll be advertised all across Instagram, all across
everywhere.
Twitter. Yeah,
everyone will be telling you what. Everyone, get ready. This is the big one. This is where we debate: is Pokemon Arceus trash? And it is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, and we're gonna have people that are for it and against it. So it's not biased, guys. It's just all of you.
And hopefully it's not too fiery. Hopefully it's not too fiery.
Hopefully, but there's gonna be a warning because I feel like we're just gonna get into some big ass blown argument. It's gonna happen, isn't it? It's gonna happen. But yeah,
it's very exciting. Drama. It's very exciting. Upcoming.
Yeah, I mean, are you preparing? You getting that research done? All that stuff.
But once you tell me the date, I'll spend honestly like a day. Or like half a day, I don't know, hours trying to like get all the things because in the past we've not really sort of explained in detail why we don't like the game.
Yeah, there's so much stuff like gone wrong with it. Just look up on YouTube why Pokemon Arceus was a failure, and there's so many YouTubers that have already done that for you, and they've gone and given all the research why it doesn't follow the lore properly. Because the whole point, I'm not going to go into it now, but the actual game was supposed to follow the lore back in when Pokemon bad,
like so far away.
Yeah, and they kind of got the lore wrong, but we're going to discuss that in the episode.
Yeah, let's not start now. That's just a taster of what you're going to get.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we get so passionate about this, so this is going to be great. But yeah, Arceus debate is coming up. Now, before we head on to our last little segment, which is question of the week, where we read out your questions, let's have an ad break, Rowan.
Let's do it.
Oh, this tune is absolute vibes. Hey, Elijah, mate, come and check this tune out I've been listening to.
Oh, wow, that sounds really interesting, Judah, but I'm not quite sold on the fact that it sounds as good as the tune I'm listening to. In fact, if you listen to this tune, your mind will be blown away.
What? Really? Let me have a listen. Elijah, I beg to differ. My tune clearly sounded way better.
Is that so? Well, I'm in every mind to object to that, because this is the Nintendo Music Wars.
Hello and welcome to the Nintendo Music Wars, a brand new special and exclusive podcast series.
Each week, me and Judah will bring before you 2 game soundtracks and present 3 of our favourite music tracks from our chosen games.
We will then debate and explain why our chosen soundtrack is better in our own opinion.
Now, me and Judah are extremely biased, so this is where you, yes you, the listener, come in.
Each week, we want you all to vote on which soundtrack you thought was best. We will be putting polls out on all our social medias, and this does include Spotify for those of you on Spotify.
And if you're unable to take part in any of the polls, please write in your vote to our podcast email, jirsgaming135@gmail.com.
At the end of each week, we will take in all the votes, and the one of us that gets the most votes that week gets 1 point.
And at the end of the series, the person who gets the most points wins the Nintendo Music Wars.
Elijah, the war is on. I will win this.
Not so fast. We all know who the musician is here.
Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Or watch on YouTube at the JR's Gaming Podcast.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Nintendo Music Wars. And we are back from the ad break, guys, and we're on to the question of the week segment where we read out your questions. This week we have a question here from, who's it going to be? Jade. And Jade says, when you and Rowan do an in-person video / podcast, where and what will you be doing? Jade from the USA.
Good question,
I think. Well, yeah, me and Rowan have discussed this quite a bit.
Last year we actually we wondered what we were going to be doing for the Christmas. I think I don't know, but I think
this Christmas I want to do something big, definitely, because last Christmas was just the award ceremony.
Yeah,
I think we should do the awards. But
last Christmas we talked about in the future, another Christmas we can do sort of get all the guests back, do a Christmas sort of style thing.
Christmas show, live show, maybe like a present thing. Get everyone in the same room. I don't know. Maybe if not the room, we could just get a couple of people on the podcast. It could be maybe the Arceus debate. People all but happy in Christmas.
I don't know. Yeah, that'll be a jolly time.
A jolly time. Yeah, we have to be banned. Do not talk about Arceus for the Christmas show. But we do have. She's asking like I mean, this is kind of like a tangent, I guess. But for the Christmas show, guys, this year we're still going to think out what we have to do. We're definitely going to have Elijah on. He's like our podcast member, and Beth on. I think Beth and Elijah will return for a Christmas episode. But we need you guys to let us know, what do you want us to do? Can we do a quiz? Should we do like gifts and stuff? And
also, let's think about the other aspect. They said they said video or podcast. So video. What do you think the first video would be?
So our first video. So I'm actually doing a video with Elijah actually, and he's doing like a first sort of face reveal. But he's not going to be. He's all going to be funny. Some people have a face reveal and they're like, "Look at my face. This is my face." Elijah's just not going to do that. He's just going to appear on YouTube one day, which he is in the video with me. And he's not going to announce anything. It's just going to be there for people to find if they're clever enough. His face is there.
I don't know how I'm going to reveal mine.
Yeah. Do you think you might do that? Do you think you might one day just be like, as if nothing happened, be like, "Hello guys, it's just your face"?
I'm not sure. It depends how much popularity we've got.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I did something quite big. I was like, "Here's my face and here's my channel," because I am actually on publicly on YouTube now. But it's been good so far. No one said
I might do something similar. I don't know when. It could be next year.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing, I think a lot of people said you were happy to do it this year, but I think you're kind of getting prepared for it. I mean, the thing is your setup, isn't it? You want to try and get a setup that looks good behind you, don't you?
Oh yeah, because I don't have that at the minute. I mean, I might get a green screen. I don't know.
Yeah, you could do that. You just pop it up when you're at to record, or you could put something behind. But yeah, to be fair, I think what do you want to do, Roan? Would it be in the UK? Would it be like an activity? Like crazy golf. I mean, me and Elijah,
like an escape room or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be a YouTube challenge, but it would have to be Nintendo related.
How would we do that?
Yeah,
there's not many Nintendo places around us.
There's not. We'd have to travel far, wouldn't we? We'd have to like probably drive somewhere.
Yeah.
Or like take a train, or I don't know, but. I don't know. We'll have to like figure out what to do, guys. Again, it's all what you guys want. So let me know, Jade.
Wait, was this about the first video?
I think This is when you do a in-person video. Where, and what will you be doing? I don't know. I mean, me and Roan, I think we're actually planning to go to Japan together in the long run to do like a holiday video. That's like a few years away, maybe 2-3 years ago. So that's one thing, isn't it, Roan? Because in Japan have like arcades and stuff that are so cool, like the claw machines. Like, have you seen CDVA's videos where he goes to the claw machine?
Yeah, that was amazing. That's one of my favorite videos.
Yeah, no, basically you've missed out. He's been doing what he's been doing exactly. He's been doing it with everyone. He's been doing it with Ludwig. He's been doing it with like he's been with Jackson. I don't know. He's been getting all these YouTubers to do it with him, and like he's been like inviting. So he's got Chris Broad, and he's been taking them all to this arcade in Japan where it's like the most famous. You can win like a PlayStation 5.
Oh yeah.
It's like everything. Fluffy toys to snacks, and it isn't like I don't know why, but CWA, the YouTuber, he used to be quite good at claw machines. Like he actually gets a lot of stuff, like giant crisps and things. Like they went home, their hands weren't empty. Like it does work, so they are rigged, of course. But yeah, I think Roan, that's one thing we have to do.
Also go to Super Nintendo World.
Yeah, that's one thing.
I mean, I think the things there are like really expensive, but it's
I mean, Japan, we won't get bored in Japan, Roan. That's full of Nintendo stuff. Old retro stores that we can review and stuff, and then we go to a hotel room and like
to work part time at like a game store nearby.
Yeah. That's your like job idea, isn't it? You're gonna work at a game. Yeah. So yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, Roan, you could probably get special permission because you work there to film and to show everyone what you do there. You could like do that. We could do that. Yeah. We could go to a game store in the UK and look at it. I don't know. Jade, let us know. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to jump into a swimming pool? Anything. It could be anything. Honestly, just what we viewers do. I've got a few things lined up in London this year though with Elijah. So it's just me and Roan, of course. I mean, that'll be back on the JR's gaming channel, which has kind of been forgotten. We actually had a viewer. Like right onto our latest video on the Jars Gaming. She said, "Looks like you need to do another update, guys."
Wait, what? What was that about?
So a viewer called Temi, she wrote on a comment on our latest video, and she was like, "Looks like you guys will need to do another update," which is very true.
Yeah,
we shouldn't we? We need to kind of do an update. We should do an in-person update. We're like, "Hello, we are here." I don't know. We have to see what we can do.
Yeah.
Now, on to the next sort of part of the question. She says podcast, video podcast. That is going to be an exciting thing when we actually eventually go onto video instead of audio. It's going to be interesting because
I think it'll stay audio on, like, obviously Spotify, but YouTube is probably going to be
YouTube is going to be, and that will of course increase our viewership because people like to watch
sort of like
things.
a studio sort of like similar to Impulsive with like the couches there and stuff.
I really want to do that. I want to hopefully get a studio set up or a place in my house where we can do that. But here's the thing, of course, we just time and effort. We're probably not going to really have to go around each other's house or whatever to do it every single week. So it's also going to be when we have a proper setup. So I kind of have got a setup I can already start recording from. It's just Rowan. So to be fair, he hasn't done his face reveal yet. So he needs to kind of get a setup going, and we can start off doing the podcast just on video camera. So we both record our POV of it, and then I put it into 2 slots. So Rowan's side and my side, and we have our mics. You've got your gaming headset on. I've got my mic up in front of me, and we'll just do it like that, which will be way better, I think, for everyone, because everyone likes to see that. So, Jade, yes, a podcast video will come up along. So we're working on it, but it's just Ryan needs to get his setup done, don't you, Ryan? You need to get everything ready for your face reveal as well. So
whenever that'll be, I'm not too sure. But...
So, yeah, it all kind of depends on Rowan, to be fair. I've got to wait for him. But, yeah, it will happen one day. Just in the hopefully near to middle future. But, yeah, thanks for your question, Jade. And if you want to see my face, go and subscribe to me and subscribe to Rowan as well because he's doing live streaming. So yeah, go and do that. Anything else you want to say to that, Ryan?
No, yeah, I think you've just covered it all.
Yeah, we've kind of covered it all. Yeah. Well, it's been a great episode. Thanks to Rowan for leading it this week. Until we see you guys next week, please send in your questions and comments to jarsgaming135@gmail.com. Remember to send it in there, guys. Please subscribe or follow us whatever platform you're listening from. I can't speak too fast. Please subscribe or follow us on whatever platform you're listening from and leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, as this will help us out greatly and get the podcast around. Our socials will be in the description below, our Instagram, YouTube, website, Twitter, and Discord. But until then, it's a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.